Halloween, all the kids came under the tent and they started asking for Disney songs based on the name of the princess.
Yeah.
Can you guys play any Jasmine? Can you guys play any Ariel? We're like, we can play Ariel.
We got
that
that
one we
one.
can do. One more song, and I'm going to have to change instruments for this one.
This was a song that both of us have always loved, and we often take songs and make them a bit of our own, change them up. And this is actually an arrangement that we heard from Amanda Palmer.
Shout out to Amanda.
Shout out to Amanda Palmer if you're listening. Obviously she is. And then we took that and changed it a little bit more to make it our own from her version. So hopefully you'll recognize this one within the first few chords.
You know you have a good song when people redo your songs. And look at this, we're playing two actual ukuleles, like, you know, the ukuleles do.
Okay. You call it.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You were here before.
it hurts. I wanna have control. I want a perfect body, and I want a perfect soul. I want you to notice when I'm not around. I think you are special. How I wish I was special. But I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. She's run, she run, run, run,
Whatever makes you happy.
whatever you want. So very special. I wish I was special, but I'm a creep. I'm a widow. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. I don't belong here.
Thank
you so much for having us. Our website is ukuledesboston.com. That's UKU to spell ukuleles. We are also on Instagram at Ukuleles Boston and Facebook. We have a Ukuleles Boston Facebook page. Please find us. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you. We are now going to our second part of the first hour of the program. My name is Anna Lindo, and I'm here tonight at Somerville Community Access Television. We just heard, we had this amazing show. Thank you so much, guys. See you next time. Ukuleles. They came to perform and to support us. Thank you so much. So donate, if you're watching us, to somervillemedia.org/donate. That's our address, but you can see on the screen too. You just go to this code that you have there and donate to us. We are approaching our target pretty soon. Thank you so much. And we are so grateful to our donors already. Tufts University, Somerville Municipal Employees Association, Councillor Jess Klingen, Councillor Matt McLaughlin, SMC Board Member Susan Barnaby, Catherine Horan from the Threshold program at Lesley University. Boston Free Radio personality Michael McLeod, and our friends Thomas Austin, Case Drightline, and Robert Adjale. Thank you so much. And thank you also for the volunteers tonight. And I know there more are coming because we are going to stay live for 24 hours. So many people coming here to help us. Some of you producers group. Thanks, Corner Claudio, for coming tonight. And Ricardo Pineda, Brian Zip, Tina Cabral here helping us too. So everyone is together as usual. And so we are now with CAS. Have you heard CAS? You know what CAS means? CAS is the Community Action Agency of Somerville, correct? Yes. And we have tonight Miriam. Miriam, yeah, she's a former parent in the Head Start program. And Kendrick is a graduate of the program. Wonderful. Welcome to Somerville Community Television. Yes. And Alex?
Yes.
Yes, Alex Barbat from CAS. Thank you so much, guys, for coming.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. And we have some questions. Is that okay? Yeah, let's talk. Let's talk about the program and how important CAS is for the community. So we would like to know more about it. Can you tell us a little bit about the Community Action Agency?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Community Action Agency of Somerville was established in Somerville in 1981, and we're actually the city's federally designated anti-poverty agency. So community action agencies were originally started in the 1960s as part of the Johnson administration's war on poverty and as part of the civil rights movement. And they're really interesting programs that take federal funding and bring it directly to communities, but with a lot of intentional flexibility to allow the communities that they're serving to really use it in the most effective way possible. So every few years, what CAS does as a community action agency is we survey the people in the community to find out what are the greatest needs that really our residents are facing and that we aren't meeting. And very consistently for the last few years, that has been childcare and affordable housing access. And so our programs are designed to meet those needs specifically in response to the most pressing needs of the community. And we take both an individual approach, so we do direct service with clients, but we also take a systemic approach and help people, especially the people who are most impacted by these issues, advocate for change at a policy level, because we understand that these issues, unless we really repair the systems that are creating them, will continue. And so we really hope to help people in those emergency moments, but then also just stop the root cause.
Excellent. That's amazing. What you guys have been doing for how long in Somerville? Has been for a long time in Somerville.
Yeah. I think I'm pretty bad at math, but we just passed our 40th anniversary a couple of years ago. So
wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. Another question is about what is going on in Somerville. A lot of change, right? It's the landscape of Somerville has changed quite a bit in recent years. We are seeing more apartments being built across the city and more tech and life science, jobs. How is that impacting the work that you do?
Yeah, so what we're really seeing is that there is this huge influx of wealth and, money coming into Somerville. But what we're finding is that these opportunities that are being created and the wealth that's being generated isn't being distributed to all of the people who live in Somerville very evenly. So what we're finding is that because of this, people are being displaced from their communities. Now that, the cost of housing is increasing, people can't afford to live in their homes. They might be facing pretty massive rent hikes, or, the just general cost of living has gone up for a lot of folks. And especially for our most vulnerable members of the community, who are the most sensitive to these shocks, they are feeling these impacts really suddenly. So I think a lot of what we want to do is advocate for policies and the system change that we need to make sure that people don't get displaced from their homes. Because when people are able to stay in Somerville, they're able to stay close to their jobs. Kids are able to stay in their schools. People are able to stay connected with their really crucial networks of friends and family and just support systems. And also, they just add incredible diversity and value to Somerville. We really benefit when we have a city that is thriving, but when all of our citizens are thriving, and we have a wealth of lived experiences here. So if we don't start viewing affordable housing policy and just economic justice as one of the needs of our community, and we don't start investing in the people who, have built Somerville into being the community that we know and love, we are going to lose a lot of that, because we need the artists in our community, we need our essential workers, we need our teachers, and all of these folks who just bring so much to the city. So while we love welcoming new people to the community, we just want to be sure that we're doing right by the people who have created the Somerville that we know and love and who have built their lives here.
That's pretty amazing, Alex, the work you do, and you have been helping a lot of people. And at the same time, you, as you said, you've seen an increase of people asking help more because of this affordable housing in Somerville. And it means that you're seeing also people being displaced from their homes because of this, or maybe living in Somerville. It has been happening more than before, more and more.
So our housing advocacy program has a constant just flow of requests coming in from the community, because there are just so many people who have all of this need. And our housing advocates work incredibly hard, but even with all of their time and effort and energy invested in helping the community, we still face, waiting lists, as do other agencies in the city that work on similar issues. So there's just a huge need for housing advocacy and support, and it's really just gotten worse with the pandemic.
Wow. Yeah, and how does CAS help meet the needs of the community? But if you want to maybe highlight something about it, and things that you think it's important to share again.
Yeah.
Please, thank you.
So we have 3 really core programs, and then one program that is seasonal. So our first program, and one of our longest running ones, is actually Head Start. So Head Start is a free preschool program that provides early education to kids in Cambridge and Somerville. But one of the most interesting things about Head Start is that it's not just a daycare. It's actually so much more than that. So we provide a lot of family support and work really closely with the parents and the families of Head Start children to provide wraparound services and really make sure that we're meeting the family's entire set of needs, because learning doesn't stop outside of, or it doesn't stop like outside of the classroom. We really want to make sure that we're building communities and homes where kids can thrive and where families can thrive. Then there's our housing advocacy program, which I mentioned earlier. They do a lot of case management. They help people who are at risk of, losing their homes by assisting them and doing advocacy during eviction processes, providing rental assistance, utility assistance, and just making sure that folks can, find affordable housing, especially if they have, like a Section 8 voucher. And then our community organizing and advocacy program is the group that takes that systemic approach that I mentioned. So a lot of the time, they work with the same folks who might have been facing an eviction before, who might have been clients with the housing advocacy program, and they help do leadership development and allow the people who know these issues best to organize around it and build collective power to advocate for this systemic change. So that's a really incredible program, and the relationship that they have with the housing advocacy program is really powerful because, you're working with it's the people who are most impacted by these issues who then get to advocate for it. And then finally, we have our VITA program, our volunteer income tax program, where people, can help low-income residents of Somerville file their taxes and make sure that they are getting every tax credit that they are eligible for, or that they qualify for, and help make sure that folks aren't paying more for tax preparation services, and help folks save money.
True, and it's a great program too.
Yeah, thank you.
A lot of people might ask for help. There it is, yes. Wonderful. What are some positive changes that you've seen in Somerville around addressing the housing crisis?
Yeah, so our Somerville Renters Committee, which is part of the community organizing and advocacy program, actually just finished their city budget campaign, which was a campaign that was over a year in the making, actually. The Somerville's Renter Committee is made up of folks who have gone through leadership development training with the organizing program, and they were able to win an extra $3 million in affordable housing funding through last year's budget surplus. They were able to advocate for the creation of new positions with the Office of Housing Stability and create an emergency housing trust fund with the city, amongst other really positive changes. So we are really excited to see that the city of Somerville is listening to these voices and actually, taking action. But we also understand that these issues and this advocacy takes a lot of time. So we're excited to continue fighting.
Yes, that's so important. Even though they're listening, as you said, but it's keep the energy in fighting. Yes, wonderful. Yeah, it's really important the talk. It's things that I think every resident, every Somervillian, would like to know more about. Everyone, I'm pretty sure, has questions about these programs that you helping people. Also, what are some changes that you would like to see made in Somerville to prevent this displacement from the community?
Yeah, so we understand that these issues are impacted by statewide issues and statewide policies. But looking just in Somerville, what we really want to see is more funding for affordable housing and using the power of zoning to ensure that we have enough houses to house the folks that need them, and make sure that the demand and supply of housing can really keep up and be at equilibrium. At the statewide level, we really want to see the statewide ban on rent control be lifted so that cities have the option to create rent stabilization policies, because right now there's a statewide ban on rent control. So no city in Somerville, or not in Somerville, in Massachusetts has the ability to create those policies.
You said no, they don't have it?
No, so
But I've heard that it was before, they could do that before, but not now, not anymore.
no, I don't remember the exact year the policy was implemented, but it's within kind of recent memory that the ban on rent control was created.
Oh.
Yeah. But we do support that. I do want to turn it to Miriam.
Yeah, we, of course. Yeah.
I feel like I could talk about this forever.
No, yeah. We can talk about more. Yeah, maybe gonna have some more questions, or you too, Miriam. Please feel free to ask questions, and But we love to know more about your experience as a parent, because you had your kid there in the program. Yeah, is the Head Start. That Alex just said that they do that. They help like parents and kids in Somerville. How was your experience? Yeah, been since you get involved in the program.
I was talking to her. I was like, it's so easy when they invited me to talk about Head Start, because talk about something that you loved, it's easy. I actually had 2 kids that were in Head Start. I have a daughter. Now she's 13. I had a son that went to a preschool, not Head Start. He's older. He's 24. But when my daughter was in the age to go to a preschool, I had a friend that told me about Head Start. That's when I enrolled her. And I kind of I loved it from the beginning. But I didn't get too much involved then because I used to work. But I see the difference that it made in my daughter's life. Then when I had my son, I couldn't work because I had a 5-year-old daughter and a baby. And I stopped working. When I put him to Head Start, I was more involved. I was part of everything, every class they do it, everything they oh, do you have this class? We have, because I was talking to her, Head Start is not only a daycare. Head Start it's a preschool. That's something that most folks don't understand, especially in my community. I'm Brazilian. They think it's just a daycare. When you drop your kid, it's going to be no, they're learning. I was talking to her I saw my daughter on the first couple months that she was on Head Start. She was reading, 3 years old. She was writing her name. And that's if you leave your kid in a babysitter or in the normal daycare, you're not going to see that kind of stuff. And I saw that. And my son, when he entered the Head Start, he had some speech problem. He couldn't talk much. Most of his communication was by sign and gesture, face, but not words. But he was so, the teacher so loved, embraced him so well, that couple months that he wasn't Head Start, continued doing the speech therapist because they were going there to help him. He started to use his words. And I had we had Ginger. She's the parent that connects all the programs. And I did everything since I wasn't working, I had time to be in all the classes. We had cooking classes, sewing classes, and everything. You may think oh, that's nothing, but no, that's help you feel more part of the community, make you feel more involved in your child's life. You learn more. We did some child development classes. It's a Bunker Hill class, and if the parents wants to go higher education, they help you. They help you with like she's saying, like when you first start Head Start, your family advocate come to your house, and they had a list. They check your needs, like what do you need, how can we help you, and they work around to help you in your needs. Like they help me getting housing, like on the pandemic, they helped me with my rent. Like I'm so in love with Head Start. Like there is like anything that I can say. Like every friend that I have that had kids, then in the age of Head Start, no matter what city they are, if they had Head Start, like go for it, because it's not just a daycare. It's gonna help you. It's gonna help in your needs, because sometimes we work so much, we don't know that we like. In some, I have families that live in Somerville. They have to move out because they could pay the rent, because, like she was saying, there's no, like the landlord can put the highest as they want, and Head Start on the cast, they help with that. Like they know your needs. Like, okay, you need this. What can we do to improve, to make you forward? Like I'm doing right now. I'm on vacation right now, but I'm taking like it's not, they don't call the GED anymore. They have like a different name that I kind of forgot. But Head Start like pushed me to go forward to get my diploma. And like I was saying, like they make you feel part of a community. They make you, like if you get involved, like what I say, like when I had him, I could get involved. You know, they're listening. They're like, we went to the housing to speak with the senator. Like they help you. Like you have a voice. We're gonna help you, so they can hear you. It's amazing.
And Miriam, you saying they also help you with your education, help you like giving you not just your kids, but also you as a parent, guiding you through your educational and programs for you too, and then you can you go into school, or did you go to school?
I'm taking classes to get my high school diploma, because they the one who, like Ginger was one of that, like, no, go for it, you can do it, like, you know, like those kind of words that we need to encourage you, because sometimes, like, especially when you're a parent and you're not that young anymore. I know I look young, but I'm not. You feel like, oh, it's too late. But they give like, no, it's not too late. You can go. Like, you can do it. No, you have to. And that's kind of words that they help you with, improve your, like, your sense of going forward. I have, like, we have connected with parents. Like, we did, like, P-Connection. It's a program they had on Head Start.
What's the name of?
They call P-Connection.
P-Connection.
It's parent connection. It's
Oh.
like, I think I don't know if they still have that, but it used to be like 10 weeks when we go and we learn something about the community. Like every week we learn something different. And it helps us to get connect with the other parents. Like I was saying, it helps us to be part of the community. We still have the app, like the WhatsApp app. We still have connections. We still, like, when you see something that they need something, we still help them. I still get help from them. Like sometimes I know something, oh, they helping with this, or they need that. Like we put on the link on the WhatsApp. But that's like something that makes you go for it. And I know I have friends that just finished college. Like they always started on Head Start, and they finished, they graduated, they did like the classes, they started with little classes in Head Start, and they feel like, oh, I did that class, I can do it, oh, I can do one more, I can go forward. And the Head Start's not only like, oh, I'm gonna give you this class and that. No, you did this class, you wanna continue, okay, let's go, I'll help you apply for this, or we have that kind of discount, you can, like, they help you go around. And because they don't want you to be, like she was saying, it doesn't matter if you give the money. Right now it helps me, but what about in the future? Mm-hmm. They wanted to, like, step up. They want to go forward. And if you're willing to do it, they there to help you, to support you. And that's like the amazing thing I feel about Head Start, like the support they give to the families. It's not only about, oh, have your kids over there, they're going to be taken care, they're going to have food, they're going to learn. But no, what about the family? That's the basic of everything. And Head Start had that in mind. That's why I'm so in love with Head Start.
Wow, it's a very successful story. Thanks for sharing. And yeah, it's about, not just the moment, and you can solve, like she said, like emergency things that it's there and you need to do it right away. But they also build that partnership, within the community, and also help with education, not just for the kids, but for the parents. That's absolutely amazing. Yeah, I'm so glad that we have this in Somerville, and then you have this story to share here with us tonight.
Thank you. I like when I receive a call, say like, oh, they're gonna do something, and do you want to be there? Like, so of course, every time that has something to do with Head Start, even though like he's 8 now, he graduated like in 2021, like right in the middle of pandemic, and even then, I still involved with Head Start. I'm still there. I'm still like being part of because, like I was saying, it's such a wonderful program. I want to be involved. I want like all my friends, everybody that I know to be involved because it's a really good program. It's like my dream, I was telling her, is the Head Start had funds to have the full day in every school, because right now they don't have a full day for every classes. But my dream is they have a full day for every classes, because I think that's what the community needed. Like half a day sometimes get hard for parents that works to take the kids on. But if they have a full day, I think it would be like amazing.
Yeah, see, Miriam is, good. Yeah. How can we, if folks want to get involved, how they can get involved and help and be part of CAS in these programs? How can we help?
Yeah. So, I mean, as a nonprofit, I think I have to say, like, donations are always really, really helpful. They're so essential. And some of our like really kind of most impactful programs are entirely donor funded. So every donation from the community really, really helps CAS and helps us continue to do this work. We also have different volunteer opportunities come up all the time. So, folks are welcome to join us in the community for tabling or, help around the office. Or help in a Head Start classroom. And then our community organizing program has an eviction response network that does really, really incredible work throughout the community. So there are quite a few ways to get involved. But you can learn more at our website at caasomerville.org and on social media at CAA Somerville.
Wow. And we just here, neighbors, right? CAS is just here, Union Square?
Yeah.
Close, yeah.
We are just a stone's throw away.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Thank you so much, Miriam, and
Thank
for
you.
sharing your beautiful story. And and she I'm pretty sure she helps a lot there. She brings a lot of people, right? And then
I try my best.
We are so lucky to have you involved.
No, I'm lucky to have Head Start in my life. It helped me like top.
That's beautiful. That's really amazing. That's a community story, and that's why we keep the community alive and help each other. Thank you so much for coming, and see you next time.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much for having us.
Yeah, thank you. Now we are gonna have you guys invited to stay if you wanna watch the show and stay a little bit more with us. We have our guest that we have been trying to get her here for a while. And finally, we're here tonight. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. I'm Audrey the Turkish. And I'm going to do a couple songs for you tonight, both on the guitar and the mandolin. This first song is from my new album called Faces of a Queen, and there's also a video on YouTube. If you like the song, you can check it out. It's called Motorcycle Song. Got those soft sideburns, bring out the girl in me. Teach the highway, they got something to see. These wheels can fly, rising ever higher. Spread wings of steel and rubber. From your talk to your walk to your coconut smell. Heaven and hell. Let's get out on the road with the wind in our hair. Put this town behind us, leave this pit of despair. These wheels can fly, rising ever higher, spread wings of steel and rubber. Angel of mine, heavenly lover, won't you come back? Never forget things that you said and the things that you did. Won't you come back? I could never forget things that you said and the things that you did. Thank you. All right, this next song is also from my new record, Faces of a Queen, and it's about a friend of mine. Her name is Nina, and the song is called Nina. Nina, you're gorgeous, and I know All right, now I'm going to switch over to the mandolin for a couple of songs in the middle. This next song, I feel like I should tattoo that to my forehead. This next song is, all right, this next song is called Ashes. And I was very excited to finally get this recorded in the studio. And so it appears on the album Faces of a Queen. And I'd just like to mention that if you like the music you're hearing, you can hear the full band versions on my Bandcamp page if you look up Ajda the Turkish Queen. And I'm also going to be doing some songs tonight from my former band, Black Fortress of Opium. So if you look up either of those on Bandcamp, that would be much appreciated. That's a really good platform that really supports artists. The songs are also available on all the other typical streaming services, but I like to plug Bandcamp because they really treat artists the best. All right, this one's called Ashes. Last night I tasted salty kiss, flavors of fear and bitterness. Ooh. What a crime to leave unsaid. shadow like velvet, soft on skin, as you linger and long for him. What a crime to leave unsaid, leave unspoken the hotel. What a crime to leave Now all the time she yelled, wishes she'd whisper, and in his absence echoes the silence. Ooh, yeah. Sweet sugar so bitter, shiver like winter on her tongue. Never let another in to your heart's secret chamber. All right, let me just make a little tuning adjustment here. Okay, feels better to me. So this next song, well, that was Desperate Kiss, so I jumped right into that one. That last song came from my former band Black Fortress of Opium's Slow Burn EP that we put out over COVID. It was several songs that were from our archived recordings, and we put that out in the fall of 2021. So that one's Desperate Kiss. And the next song is also from my former band Black Fortress of Opium. This one is called Afyon Kara Hisar Battle Cry. And the word Afyon Kara Hisar, it's a Turkish word. It's actually the name of a place in Turkey that I've been to. My mother is Turkish, hence the stage name Ajda the Turkish Queen. But that word can mean three different things: Black Citadel of Opium, Black Fortress of Opium, or Black Castle of Opium. And I came across that phrase in the name of the town in my reading about Turkey while I was traveling over there. I think I might have found it in the Lonely Planet Guide, to be honest. But I thought it was a pretty cool name, even if it sounded a little heavy, so I went with it. And so this next song is inspired partly by that, and it's called Afyon Kara Hisar Battle Cry. Oh, and I just want to mention one other thing about this one. We did shoot a music video for this, and we shot in Boston Harbor, and that was really cool. That was in 2009 on Lovell's Island. Some 700 steps up to the summit. Some 700 steps if you can climb it atop. A kronan, Afyon Kara Hisar. It's a testament to reach the summit. You're a soldier if you can climb it, stones white from below. But what can fools who see from afar know? You can build castles in the sky, so lovely on high. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. So high up and far from ground, so many enemies to crush down. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Locked inside is something ecstatic. Instinct bides you to protect. Dark, but I will defend it to the death. Battle cry, hymn of the solemn. Oh, the glory in a flowery June with poppies in full bloom. You can build castles in the sky, so lovely on high. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. So high up and far from ground, so many enemies to crush down. Yes, you can. Yes, you All right, I'll switch back to guitar now. Oh, and I did also just want to show you an example of what those releases look like that I've been talking about. So, the song I just played is on this album. This is the cover, Black Fortress of Opium's second album, Stratospherical. And let's see, what else? What else do we have? Okay, let's head back to the guitar. Okay, after that highly energetic number, we're going to switch to a bit of a mellower feel now. Going back to my new album, Faces of a Queen, that came out in April of this year. I'm going to do the song called Tory Gate Garlands. Soft focus lens and the Tory gate in my mind, through which I see you softly. Spend more than a minute on the thought, revel in the gift that you gave me. In a reverie on hot summer nights, feel my heart pulling at you like tide. Try to halt the questioning, sink into a blissful feeling. We don't know why our paths intersected. It's all a big mystery. But I suspect there's something here to explore. You already said that you love me. Handsome man, I wanna roam far and free with you, lose myself in a wonder special. You've dreamed with me of gardens and places far like California. Afraid of saying too much, don't want to frighten you, but I can't stop thinking about your touch and all the things that you do. Okay, I'm going to take it back to Black Fortress of Opium now, my former band, and I'm going to do a song called Siren Calling Your Mind. Again, I'm Ajda the Turkish Queen. I have 2 more songs, and please give tonight if you are able, and support local media here in Somerville. Very important. She's exotic like nothing, nothing else you have seen. You want so badly to touch her, but you're not her kind of thing. She's calling your number, dialing your mind. Gotta deal with the got a hook on your line. She's sending the signal, you hearing the tone, to its origins, tell you just what she's thinking. I want him, I want him, I want him, I want him. Siren calling your mind, siren calling you, siren calling your mind, siren calling you. could give you the heavens. Oh, but the waiting is hell. Things just might take a turn. One can never tell. The conditions are changing, opening up. There's a space in the clearing. Chances moving in, moving in. Siren calling your mind. Siren calling you. 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 I've got to be able to hang up if I want to. I've got to be able to hang up if I need to. I've got to be able to take off if I want to. I've got to be able to take off if I need to. La, la, ooh, la, la, ooh, la. La la ooh, la la ooh, la. Siren calling your mind, siren calling your mind, siren calling your mind, siren calling your mind, siren calling your mind. Okay, I have one more, assuming there's time. Yes, that was Siren Calling Your Mind, as if I didn't sing it enough times. Okay, the next song, this last song for tonight, again, homage to the Turkish Queen. Thank you so much, the Somerville Media Center, for having me here as part of the telethon. Please give generously. I understand we're going to have a nice conversation after the set here, too. So I'd like to wrap up tonight by playing a song called Take This Ride. And this one comes from this record right here, BC 35 Volume 2. I do a lot of work in New York with the producer and engineer Martin BC, and he celebrated the 35th anniversary of his studio a few years ago and invited a lot of musicians that have recorded there over the years, myself included, down to bring a couple songs, and we did a live show and a recording session, and it was kind of like a party all at the same time, and this record came out of that. So this next song that I'm going to perform, Take This Ride, you can find that on BC 35. All right. Remember when you told yourself you had to take this ride? No matter where the trip may lead, you promised to the night. Oh, is love or life harder, or one and the same? You're a slave to your instincts, not playing your soul and cast away your clouds. Your lonely room run out of gloom. He banished all your doubts. So he's leaving her changed. He is, despite such hard rain. Give a peek to such dreams, just what she needs. Let her in. Throw down your resistance and get your heart in the Remember when you told yourself you had to take this ride? Your heart's on wings, dizzying, descending from such height. When the ride stops abruptly and you're feeling confused, and it sets your head spinning, you're paying love's dues, but you're a slave to the thrill, and you relish the climb. Remember when you told yourself you had to take this ride? Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to have a little chat. Shall I join you?
Yeah. Now we are in our second hour of the telethon. And after 2017, we are, yeah, can you hear me? And no? Can you hear me? Okay, let me try the other one here. So let's try.
How about this one? Can you try that one, please, Ashta?
Check, check. I hear.
Yeah.
We're good?
So now we can have a conversation.
Okay, cool.
Have a seat.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
My foot actually fell asleep while I was playing. Happens. I have bad circulation. Yeah.
Cool.
Is it okay if I sit here?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So, I do have a few notes here because I want to make sure I can really have a good chat about this, because this is very important, talking about cultural capacity in Somerville and just supporting culture and the arts in the Ville. So,
Ashta, the Turkish Queen.
yes.
That's a really cool name.
Thank you. Thank you. So people ask me, how did it come about? Well, I was pretty feminist at an early age, especially around the teen years when I started playing guitar. And I had traveled to Turkey a lot. My mother was Turkish. My father's American. And I kind of wanted to come up with an original concept. And I thought to myself, well, there's the Turkish thing, but what about something that's empowering like Queen? But they don't have matriarchy in Turkey, you know. So
They don't?
Yeah, they don't. They don't have kings and queens. So this is kind of unique and original. So I was trying to merge some influences, and yeah, that's pretty much where it came from.
That's a really cool name. Yeah.
I've stuck with it. You
Yeah.
know, they say in showbiz, stick with it, because if you change the name too much, people can't keep track of where you are. They're like, what's your band now? You know, so.
And you had a band before. You play some songs from your
I have
your
been in
band.
so many bands over the years, but with my own original music and as a front woman and primary singer-songwriter, I would say I've had primarily 3 situations. The first one was Turkish Queen, and that started around 2002, 2003. And that was mostly a duo, and it was very experimental at first. We did not want to play clubs. We wanted to kind of do our own thing and kind of break the mold. We did end up playing clubs, though, because that's kind of the infrastructure that's there to showcase your art. And then that lasted for a couple of years. We put out an EP called Cusp. And then a few years after that, I started doing solo shows. I got the confidence to do solo shows. And then I took a break and started another band called Black Fortress of Opium. And so that was some of the songs that you heard me do tonight come from that band. And then solo. So those are really the 3 entities that showcase my songwriting. But I've been on over 24 records.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
I'm most proud of my own. They're like my children. I don't have children. I have albums. So, yes.
And you were a songwriter. Also, you play many instruments. You were multi-instrumentalist, musician. And tell us about your music path and everything that you want to share with us tonight. Yeah.
Well, it started in elementary school. I grew up in Texas, Houston, Texas. That's where I'm from. And I had a really good public school education, including the arts there and the music programs. I feel very fortunate to have had that access to those, good programs. And so in the 4th grade, they made me sing a song called You Made Me Love You, Judy Garland song. So it all started with Judy Garland. You wouldn't guess that, but that's how it started. But then in the 6th grade, I went to the flute and I started playing the flute. And that was really the foundation for my formal music education. And I played the flute all the way through Berklee College of Music. But when I got to Berklee, I was studying music business management. But, along the way, I picked up guitar and taught myself, and mandolin. And I have a lot of other instruments, and I've had others over the years. Accordion. I still play my flute, too. I have, on the new record of mine, Faces of a Queen, I played keyboards, guitar, mandolin, flute, many different things. I like having different textures to work with. As a songwriter, it's great just with the guitar and the voice, but beyond that, when you get to the recording phase, it's nice to have the other textures, but as the person who wrote the song, to be able to perform the parts too. I can't do drums and bass though. It stops there. So
you a singer and you teach.
Yes, I teach voice lessons, and I teach beginner guitar and a little bit of keyboards, music theory. It just kind of depends on what people want to work on. My passion is working with adults. I love teaching adults, especially. They need support and encouragement, and they need to have reflected back at them that they can do it. And I just love being part of that process.
You mean when they are like beginners?
Yes.
Because it's different, right? If you start like as a kid or later in life, so you want to go and help with that process of like maybe having that confidence too, right?
Yes.
Just to say, oh, I'm gonna learn an instrument or having like voice lessons to just sing.
Yeah.
That's what you like the most to.
Yeah,
to
so
help.
again, working with adults, they are there because they want to be there. They have achieved a state of readiness to get their voices out in the world, and that's a big step. It's definitely an anxiety-inducing process, but I do love working with adults. I also work with children and teens, but my special, heart passion is working with adults. I love adult education and specifically music. So, yeah.
Wonderful. And you are local. You live in Somerville.
I do. I actually live very, very close by.
How is it living in Somerville?
I love it. I love it. I'm diehard to the core, ride or die. Okay. I'm very happy here. I have basically, since I graduated from Berkeley, I've really stuck to like the Cambridge Somerville area, and that's worked out great for me. I've been in Somerville now it'll be 11 years this fall. No, wait. Yes. 11 years this fall. And I'm thrilled. Of course, there are things that we all face in this area, development and things like that. But overall, I have to say I'm happy. I'm also pleased at what I'm seeing so far with the new administration as well.
And you're also part of the Somerville Arts Council cultural capacity planning process. What it means? I mean, would like to share with us. I mean, how is it being part of it? Being like in Somerville, being an artist, and being part of this program.
Well, part of what got me interested in being an ambassador for Somerville's cultural capacity planning is the fact that I've been doing music in Boston for over 2 decades, but very recently I lost my rehearsal space. I was in the same rehearsal space for 18 years. That's a long time. And having a space, a steady place to work on your art, to gestate as an artist, to experiment, especially as someone who plays loud music. Tonight I did an acoustic set, but when I work with a band, etc., or if I'm getting ready for a recording, I need to work with my amps and to get loud. And I lost my space to do that, and I can't do that sort of thing at home. So I started to realize, Somerville could use a loud music rehearsal space. And it just so happens that the city and the Arts Council here in Somerville are putting forth this initiative to try to build out capacity. What does that mean? Well, we need more shows. We need more music of different kinds. We need more dance events. We need more of just, in general, cultural offerings here in the city. And there is a deep need for healing post-COVID, especially. So during COVID, the city and the Arts Council had some meetings to address reopenings. And during that time, it became apparent that there was a desire on the part of the community for a formal plan. And so the city listened. The Arts Council's been getting involved and coordinating this cultural capacity planning effort. It's multifaceted. I'm new to the process. I am really excited to be doing arts advocacy, not just because I lost my rehearsal space, but, I'm an older musician. I'm mid-40s. I'm not ashamed to admit that. Proud of it. But I've seen things happen in just being a musician in Boston, right? Not just Somerville, but in Boston in general. And I want the torch to be passed for the next generation, too. I want the next generation to have a place to play their music, to be able to get loud, to gestate. I think a lot of people don't understand how long it can take for a musical act behind the scenes, working on your craft, working on your skills, working on your songs. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes people don't know before you're even ready to play out. So we need a place to do that. And so that's part of what got me involved, my passion for that. And also just being displaced myself from my own rehearsal space. But I look around Somerville and I see the cranes everywhere, just like we all do. And I keep thinking to myself, I hope one of those cranes can build a loud music rehearsal space. Wouldn't that be cool? So it's a combination of having lost my space, wanting to pass the torch and make sure there are opportunities and spaces available for the next generation, and seeing that the city is putting forth an initiative to work on that.
Were your space in Somerville?
No, my space was in Brighton. Yeah, and hundreds of musicians were displaced, and it's being replaced by like a biosciences lab or something like that. And of course, we all want cures for the diseases and things like that, but also where the musician's going to practice. We need that too.
We need that too.
So, I'm very thankful to live in Somerville. One of the reasons I like living in Somerville is there is such a deep and strong consciousness here about supporting the arts and from the city, but also, the community. And this plan is trying to get the community involved, other cultural workers like myself. The plan, part of the idea is the city's aware they can't do it all. They can't build all the venues. They can't build all the rehearsal spaces. They can't do it all on their own. And so they're trying to help get artists and other members of the community who are interested in culture engaged to try to build bridges with each other and try to move these things forward. I know a lot of people are skeptical, about efforts like this and kind of where things are at. People are mourning the deep losses that we've experienced over COVID. Again, that need for healing to rebuild some of what we lost culturally. They can't do it all on their own, and so they're trying to. But I find it as a resident and as a musician, as an artist in this community, engaged. I find it very heartening that there is an initiative like this, a plan that's trying to put the city and members of the community together. To efforts like this to heal and kind of where things are at. People instead of just mourning the deep losses that we've experienced we lost over the clubs COVID, or we lost this need for healing. And yes, that's true. I feel deeply that we'll move forward somehow, even if it's not a giant rehearsal complex.
And what's next in your, for you in your career?
They sound good, but I'm still getting the comments about it.
Well, I definitely stepped away from, COVID gave me a big pause, from playing club gigs.
All right.
And so since then, I haven't really embraced that fully yet. I'm not sure. I'm being a little pickier now about which gigs I'm willing to do. But one thing I am excited about is sync licensing. So, do you know about sync licensing? So,
I don't. Maybe.
well, in film and TV, when there's music in the background or in the foreground of a scene.
Okay.
And I have a lot of high quality recordings I've made over the years. I would like to parlay those recordings into getting them into film and TV production. Is sync licensing. So, Sarah, you know about synchronicity? So, well, in film and TV, when there's music, just my music, pre-recorded music being used. And there is a big need there with so much streaming content. Over the years, I would like to parlay those recordings. I've been actually taking some courses on that, and going back to the growth mindset thing. I love learning. I was kind of a nerdy, dorky student, and I still am. I love learning. I like growing, and I've done the club thing for a long time, and I'm feeling that a little less just where I'm at in my life. And so now I want to try something different, and that's the sync.
Yes, so wonderful. Is there anything else you want to share with us today, Ashta?
I think that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for having me. This was a lot of fun.
No, thank you so much for coming today here, coming in and supporting Telethon, the program that we are in our approaching now our third hour. And it was awesome having you here. And
It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. And I would like to thank you everyone who is we are now waiting for the other program. Now I'm also living with, I don't know if the volunteers, the camera, and they're going to stay, but I would like to thank you everyone who is helping to make it happen. The crew, Ricardo